Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy to be back here on stage. So I've seen a few familiar faces, and I'm looking forward to meeting some of the new people who are first time here with the AsiaCom. So a little bit about me. I am Singaporean from the region. I've been doing work for the region for a while, and now I'm with Uberall, a German company, and we specialize in location marketing. A little bit about what location marketing is all about. We do online presence for businesses with a physical location. What it means is consumers nowadays, you're looking for information across search engines, maps, navigation systems, online directories, your online directories, and they are looking for products and services all the time. They want it now, they want it instantaneous. And we provide a platform for businesses to put up those important data online so that their consumers can reach them. Yeah, so I hope I've given you a good brief about what my company does. And today, I'm going to share with you something that we believe is actually the building block for your digital stack. So this is the theme of the conference. We want to build a very complete, comprehensive ecosystem for SMEs so that when it comes to digital marketing needs, they don't have to go to someone else. And we believe that we have what is necessary to be the foundation of all of that to help you sell the rest of your ecosystem solutions as well. So, very excited today to announce a piece of news that happened over the last months. Another player in the market based out of Amsterdam has joined the Uberall family. So what this means is that we have now the best brains from two companies who've been in the space for a while, serving you, providing you with the best technology that you can depend on for this. And with that, we now have more than 1,500 clients across the world, 6 offices, headquartered in Berlin, one in San Francisco, London, Paris, Cape Town, now newest Amsterdam. We have an updated number of, Florian just updated me that we have 800,000 plus POIs across the world right now. These are all primarily sourced POIs. So that means that direct businesses actually go onto our platform and key in those data about their address, phone number, opening hours on the platform, 800,000 of them. More than 100% growth over the last year, and more than 260 happy Uberallers helping to provide this value proposition out to you. So, a little bit of context why we are so excited about this market. We are very bullish, even with 100% growth, even with a few other players out there in the market doing this, we believe that we've only touched less than 2% of the global addressable market. So that's SMEs, that's enterprise included. Obviously, the bulk of the global POIs, business POIs is SMEs, and most of it in Asia Pacific. Yeah. So what this means is something very exciting for us. We all know that Asia, in terms of consumer consumption, digital consumption, Asian consumers are going online all the time looking for information, instantaneous. We heard from Joey, Meituan, people are expecting food to be delivered in 28 minutes. What about information? They want it in less than 20 seconds, right? So we want to be able to provide this information to them all the time. And we believe that together, you and us, we can help SMEs to compete in this world whereby their consumers are looking for that information all the time. So, one main challenge that bulk of the SMEs face in today's world is that they are confused. They know their consumers are out there. They know they're always trying to access information. They get the information they want, but how? How do they best reach out to these consumers, right? And that's because if we look at this marketing adoption curve, most of the SMEs, especially the ones in Asia, which is kind of ironic because Asian consumers are very much advanced, but SMEs are still very much lagging behind. We've been talking about the fact that Asia is the next thing, digitalization's coming, but it still is not there yet. So a lot of them are still here, somewhere between awareness and understanding of what is needed, and really their execution is more towards that of a beginner than a professional, yeah? And this is where actually we have a duty to help them. So we need to be their digital consultant, actually. We need to be the source where they can turn to, and which is why we are trying to build this complete and comprehensive ecosystem of solutions for them, so that they come to us and we can provide them with what they best need for their business. So, as much as we know they need a lot of things, they know they need a lot of things, where do we start? The key word here actually is also strategy. We need to have a strategy to try and help them best understand what they need, how to start, so that we can activate them and grow them in large volumes, help them move up in scale. Yeah. Just to switch the presentation up a bit, I'd like to pose some questions to the audience. How many of you here today use some kind of Google Drive or iCloud services? Yeah, okay, that's quite a lot of you. How many of you are paying for extra storage? Not bad, actually, quite a significant number of people who already use those services pay for extra storage. And this is what I mean. Actually, the joke here is also that if I put up this same question in a different room and asked how many people actually pay for Tinder, that was quite surprising as well. But you see, the common thing with all these businesses is that, okay, I think I should go back to the right. Okay. The common thing with these businesses is the fact that, you know, they had something basic that they started with, right? They got you on board, and then they delivered something beyond what they were originally providing, and you were willing to pay for it because you entered their ecosystem, yeah? And this is why we believe that with this product here, which is listings, at the core of what Uberall does, is perfectly positioned to be an entry-level product for helping you to reach out to SMEs en masse. The reason why, it's super easy to understand why you need listing. What I just mentioned, people looking for information across the web all the time. You need to be found there. That I can't think of an argument why you don't need to be. So that is the perfect starter. And it targets them right at where they are right now, the SMEs, between awareness and understanding. Of course, you know, there's other products in the stack, like be it web cards, reputation management, advertisement, all of which we do as well. But these are positioned a little bit further along the development curve, yeah? And what we want to start with is something really simple, a need that they understand very well. What you get out of it is also a lot of insights, which I will elaborate on later on. So, following that slide, what is important is that you start with something really simple, you make the hook easy, and then you build on that. There's actually also something that I didn't want to spell it out on the slide, but because my co-founder, Florian, is actually sitting in the audience, so he's first time in Elsma. Most of you haven't met him before. I encourage you to go say hi after this. He's super interesting to talk to. He's inspired so many different product and business models for our business partners. So if you come up to me and you say, hey, I want to speak to Florian, not you, no offense. But the word is that it's also cheap. And by cheap, I don't mean that it is, what we call a lelong kind of product, but it's cheap in the sense that with the little that you invest in, you get so much out of it. And you can build so much more value following something very digestible like the listings product. And I'll go on to show why. This is the plethora of solutions that you could potentially build on top of accessing a large base of SMEs, having started with a listings product. You start with listings. Obviously, from our end, we believe that the next step, you have a website to show that you have a presence online, an own domain. You talk about engagement. Nowadays, it's about reviews, what your customers are saying about you online. You want to engage with the community, and that keeps you coming back to the platform all the time, because this platform is where you will get the latest feeds about what's going on the ground, and have a chance to reply back to your customers. And then, of course, there comes advertisements, which we love, because in a competitive market, that's how you want to differentiate yourself from your competitor. But on top of that, there are so many third-party solutions that can be brought into the conversations, like content creation. You look at an SME, they have really dull photos. If you're a restaurant, nobody is going to go to your restaurant if your food looks great. And that's when you go to them and you say, hey, maybe you like to have prettier photos, and I have a solution to help you improve the quality of your photos. Or your text. Working with referral marketing, loyalty programs, discount codes that you try and advertise across the web. How is it doing? It gets published across the web through listings. Review generation, you want to have that conversation going, but nobody's starting to write anything about your shop. You want to generate some reviews coming in, and there are third-party solution providers doing all of that. And insights, there are all sorts of AI providers, and the key is that with the insights that you start to get about your SME business, you know where is their blind spot, how to start targeting them. So the thing about being a complete digital stack provider is that we first have to realize that probably what our organization was built for in the past wasn't exactly ready for that. We need to change the way we engage with the customers. The salespeople in the past, we used to reach out once a year for subscription renewals. Now find themselves, they can't hold the same kind of conversation with their SMEs anymore. And this is something that I hear repeatedly from players in the market. They need to upskill their sales force. They sometimes even need to hire and overhaul an entire sales team for them to go digital, to have that digital conversation, right? So the key thing is that you need to have a different kind of sales conversation when you try and be that digital consultant, which you need to be. And this is where analytics and data insights come into play. So the insights that you get, it really enables you to have better conversations with your SMEs, because it gives you insight as to how their customers interact with them. You get to see whether or not they get stable reviews, whether or not in certain periods of the year they get spikes in their website traffic, at their driving directions, because more people are visiting them because of an event or something along those lines. And this enables your salesperson to then go out to the SMEs and have an informed conversation with them. They can go out to them very targeted, instead of saying, hey, advertise with me for this year, this is the package. And then the SME asks, may I know, I don't really know how much revenue this extra branding is giving me. Right now, you can go out to them, you can show them exactly how much their monthly subscription to your listing product is bringing them. And what else they need. So providing regular insights about your SME's digital performance is actually a really great way to keep having conversations, continued conversations. And we have to understand also that a change sales conversation is not about closing with every conversation. Sometimes you need to go out to them just to provide them free information, provide them a tip and advice. And that's how you start building this trusted relationship. And I think any good salesperson would know that when the day comes that your client ends up calling you and asking you for advice, that's when you know that he's not going to go somewhere else, right? And this is really important. You need to prove your value first before the SME actually comes back to you and not see you just as a seller. So if you don't have a sales force, that we also have resellers who do their reselling on DIY models, for example. And we have a platform that fully supports something automated. So it comes in like next best action clicks within our system, just for our own products. We prompt the user to do the next best thing that will say enrich their profile, for example. Or, hey, you've been getting reviews, but you don't have access to it. Maybe you should look into signing up for the review management system, because you get your reviews from Google, you get your reviews from Facebook, TripAdvisor, Yelp, and you can reply to all of them. And what this means is that your customers know you're engaged. So all these automated triggers will help you save on cost. And if you remember what I said about it being a cheap product, that's also what I mean when I say cheap, because you can do a lot without investing so much, and it depends on how your business model currently is already. And obviously, as I mentioned, the trusted relationship means that the SME ends up staying with you longer and spending more with you. It's about ARPU, it's about CLV, right? And you don't get that just by going to them once a year and having an uneducated pitch. So we have been in the industry and worked with a lot of large players in different sectors. So here are 3 big players in the hosting industry, in the Yellow Pages industry, and this is how they've worked with us, right? One.com, they're a big multinational hosting company. They do it completely DIY. They have a marketplace with different solutions. They too try and provide that digital stack for their customer, and we are one of the branded solution that they're offering out to their customer out there right now. 1&1, Europe's largest hosting company, worked with us for a long time, also DIY model, and we have a very seamless user flow from the customer interface. So for example, like a single sign-on, which Ida was saying previously. So, and Census as well is also one of our really valued partner. They are Australia's leading white and yellow pages company. Work with them. They have different models, do it with me, do it for me. They have salespeople going out there exactly trying to have that same kind of consultative sales conversation with their SME clients. And they've been doing really well with the product. So these are just some examples. I know some of you out there in the audience are actually partners of ours, and really happy to see you here today as well. So I guess the point is that at this day and age, what we want to do with our SME is to not just sell them singular product services. What we want to have for them is really consultation. And that's for us also the business model of moving up along that curve and being a more sophisticated partner for them. And with that, I'll end my presentation. So here are my details. I really look forward to speaking to as many of you tonight as possible. Come up to me and I'll introduce you to Florian. Yeah? Okay, thank you.